were asking me to like say.
Who do I talk to?
To get it live up so I can share it.
Refund.
I.S.U.P.K. UK. Alright, live. Okay. Alright, live. Alright, live. Oh shit. Why I can't?
I didn't want him there. I asked that he.
Alright, live. Turn this down. Can I not share the live? Hold on. Alright, I'll switch my account.
Who do you?
Boom.
Talk to about refund. You.
Alright. Before I get this up and running, you know what I'm saying? Shalom to everybody that might be watching the live. Before I get this up and running, turn this down. You know what I'm saying? The live, of course, tonight, you know what I'm saying, at 394 Lodge Road, B18, 5PW. We have the memorial of blowing of trumpets, you know what I'm saying? You know, all my brothers and sisters, all so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know, welcome in the UK, more than welcome to come down, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, forget more than welcome. You're not only invited, you are commanded, you know what I'm saying, by the Most High, to come down to 394 Lodge Road and celebrate and hold the memorial of blowing of trumpets with your brothers. Alright. So just to let y'all know, that's what's gonna happen tonight. I'm gonna do a shorter real-time revelations today because, you know, I gotta hold on 1 second. Because, you know, I have things I need to prepare for the feast day, so on and so forth, getting ready and all that. So I have a bit of a shorter show tonight. But I got a few videos I want to kind of run through and talk about today. So let me quickly share. I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing. For some reason, my brain ain't letting me focus and talk. So what I need to do, copy link. I did the wrong thing. Okay. Bada-bada-boom. All right, share this. Okay. And then let me play some music while I do this. All right, so 1 second. Okay. Let me go to.
Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room and pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualified or not. Spinning up in a tennis truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word to hear this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to Elliot. Rubbers out in Cali and the killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One way, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travels, get the stain put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep it glocking with me, it was like a ball with it. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm on west, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to cause an imposter. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Shit they hate, niggas to the featherweight. Niggas get they hard, but they shoot it in the dedication. Hold on, take a time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a rope. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gunshot. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Niggas swear he the go, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. In the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them, what's the problem? I want west, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, it get hot, you get your cold days. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my so straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Ski mask transform the womb moon like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting till you stop like they phone die.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Play me riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die, skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P for the 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with a in the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You want it else? Yeah, what's the problem? I want West, go to war with everybody.
Alright, Most High Christ, we about ready. Alright. Shalom, everybody. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Barakatham to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathan Bashim Yahushua to all the sisters. You know what I'm saying? Welcome once again to Real Time Revelations. Again, every Sunday, 2 p.m. to about 3:30. Depending on how I'm feeling. You know, tonight's show going to be a bit of a shorter show, as I said in the introduction, just because we have, you know, the memorial of blowing of trumpets coming up tonight. You know what I'm saying? So we have some preparation and things I'm going to do to get ready for that, make it down to the school on time, a little bit early, in fact. You know what I'm saying? Get everything started with the Sabbath service and the feast to get down with my brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? With my brethren, my sisters I ain't seen in a minute. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be there, you know what I'm saying, partying, getting down at 394 Lodge Road, as the UK always does, you know what I'm saying. If anyone don't know, the UK gets down at these feast days, man. We get down. Zap1 always breaking a move, you know what I'm saying. we got brothers just, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters just having a good time, man. The vibes is right, you know what I'm saying. If you are a so-called black, Latino, or Native American in the UK, make sure you make it down to 394 Lodge Road and party with your brothers, man. Keep your culture. You know what I'm saying? We all love to celebrate, you know, birthdays and Christmas and Easter and Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. We all love to keep these pagan holidays. How about we come back and keep our culture, man? Gather together with your people and keep something that belongs to us. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, a few topics I want to talk about. I'm going to get into them kind of one by one. The first topic I want to talk about is something I seen recently where I guess Trump was in the UK recently, or he might still be here. He had what was called a, what do you call it? It was not a certain, basically he visited in the UK for a short time, you know, talking to some people. We had to sit down with Keir Starmer, and they talked about a few things. But one thing to note, well, one thing I took note of, or videos that's going around, is the words he had to say about the mayor of London, all right, the current mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. All right, so I got some videos to play on that. You know what I'm saying? I got two. One was when he was on the plane. I assume it on the plane on the way to the UK, and then he doubled down while it was in the UK. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Let me get these videos up real quick. Go to this one. This is the one I want first. Alright, so it's on music. So this video, let me turn my brightness up. This video is captioned, Trump did not want mayor of London to, hold on. It's flipped on my screen, so I'm struggling to read it. I don't know if it's the right way on your screen. I might need to flip it. Hold on, let me have a look at the live real quick and see if the text is flipped, because I want the text to be able to be readable, because there's also videos with captions. Take a quick look. Is the for anybody in the live, is the text the right way for you? Let me put it up on the screen again. Is this text the right way, or is it reversed? You'll let me know. Put a 1W if it's the right way around, or put a la if it's like flipped the wrong way. Alright. La okay, it's flipped the wrong way. Hold on 1 second. Let me do this. I can just flip it. There's a way I can, hold on. Just how I do this. Is it in the crop? There we go. Yeah, I can mirror it. Okay, so now it's the right way. Right now it's readable. I put a 1W if it can be read now. Okay, come on. Okay, most sign Christ. All right, so it's reversed when I'm watching the video, but it's gonna be the right way. You know what I'm saying, when I show the screen. So I'll probably just show the screen so y'all can see, right? So this video is titled Trump Didn't Want Mayor of London at State Banquet. That's what it was. That's where he came over and there was a state banquet. And this is what he had to say about the mayor of London on his way to the UK. Alright. Anyone who doesn't know, the mayor of London is Sadiq Khan. Let me get a quick picture of Sadiq Khan. Alright, Sadiq Khan, mayor of London. Right. This is Sadiq Khan, right? The mayor of London. I believe he's either Indian or Pakistani. Indian or Pakistani. I mean, they're actually the same people. They just you know, had a disagreement and split the land, I guess, in Pakistan and India, right? But let me look up his ethnicity. All right, which one is he? He's Pakistani, right? The first Pakistani mayor of London, right? So let me get this video again now. Play it. So these are the words that Trump had to how can I, yeah, there we go. These are the words that Trump had to say about, you know, Sadiq Khan. Right? Yeah. Oh, I'll mute it.
I didn't want him there. I asked that he not be. The mayor of London, Khan, is among the worst mayors in the world. And we have some bad ones. If you look at Chicago, but I think he's the equivalent of the mayor of Chicago.
Yeah.
I think he's done a terrible.
So he says the mayor of London is among the worst mayors in the world. I mean, in the whole world. Apparently, Sadiq Khan is one of the worst mayors in the world. Now, you know, that's his opinion. You know, we all entitled to, you know, everybody's opinion. I don't really care. I'm not in London. I don't. You know, it's none of my business. I'm not Pakistani. This, you know, it's nothing to do with me. But I just found it interesting. He also compared it to the mayor of Chicago. Let me look up the mayor of Chicago real quick. Who's the mayor of Chicago now? I see. The mayor of Chicago is a brother named Brandon Johnson. So Brandon Johnson is the mayor of Chicago. Okay, so he's comparing Sadiq Khan to the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. All right, this brother right here. Okay, all right, interesting. And he's amongst the worst mayors of the world. So apparently, both Sadiq Khan and Brandon Johnson are, you know, one of the just the worst mayors in the entire world, the entire earth. Is one of the worst mayors, the worst, you know, rulers over a city. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's play on. I hate that iPhone does that every second. I have to unmute this job. Right.
I think he's done a terrible job. Crime in London is through the roof. The mayor of London, Mayor Khan, has done a terrible job. And on immigration, he's a disaster.
It's interesting he notes that. And on immigration, he's a disaster. Okay, interesting. You know, there is a whole thing going on with the UK, the US, with basically oppressors, you know, so-called white people, and immigration in general. There seems to be a, you know, they're starting to get sick and tired of anybody who is non-white. That seems to be the theme of what's going on in recent times. The white people are getting sick and tired of just seeing anybody who is non-white. Fascinating. Okay, so he compares the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, some Pakistani man, to the mayor of Chicago, a black man, a Judite, right? And saying that they're amongst the worst mayors in the world. Okay, it's saying he's done a terrible job. Okay.
I think he's done a terrible job. Crime in London is through the roof. The mayor of London, Mayor Khan, has done a terrible job. And on immigration, he's a disaster. Now, I asked that he not be there. He wanted to be there, as I understand. I didn't want him. I've not liked him for a long time. I just think, you know, I have a certain pride in London and UK. My mother was And when I see Mayor Khan do a bad job, the stabbings and the dirt and the film, it's not the same. No, I didn't want him. I didn't want him.
Interesting, right? So right at the end, right? He says, you know, he's doing a terrible job. The crime in London is bad, and he's just doing a terrible job. Oh, and on immigration, his immigration is terrible. You know, his policy or whatever. He says he's doing terrible on immigration. What he said? Yeah, on immigration, he's a disaster. Okay, and then he says, you know, I've not liked him for a long time, and then he goes to say, let me run this part back again.
Not like him for a long. I just think, you know, I have a certain pride in London and UK. My mother was.
So he says, you know, he just has a certain pride in London and the UK, a certain pride that Donald Trump has in London and the UK. I mean, and then he goes on to say, you know, his mother was from Scotland and this, that, and the third, and you know, it's just terrible, you know, seeing what's happening to the UK. You know, mentioning the crime and immigration, which is you know, basically their talking points. Their talking points is that they pin it as if all the crime in the UK is just being done by immigrants and refugees, as if there wasn't crime before there were immigrants and refugees, as if there wasn't crime before Sadiq Khan was the mayor of London. But as soon as you know, let me look up who was the mayor before. Okay, who was the mayor before Sadiq Khan? And I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not you know, being on the side of Sadiq Khan. I could care less. I'm just curious. I'm just curious as to, you know, what exactly is the, you know, the point that you know, Donald Trump is saying. Is it to do with crime? Is it to do with crime getting worse, or is it to just do with white supremacy? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm gonna find out. Okay, so prior to Sadiq Khan being the mayor of London, it was Ken Livingstone. Okay, a guy called Ken Livingstone. Okay, let me look up, has crime in London gotten worse since Ken Livingstone was the mayor? Okay. So there is a fact check. Has Sadiq Khan really overseen a crime surge in London? Okay, has Sadiq. Okay. So there's an article right here, right, about a year ago, right, February last year, right? Has Sadiq Khan, I'll probably have to flip that, right? Has Sadiq Khan really overseen a crime surge in London? Okay, London under siege with criminals ruling the street. That's not the plot of a comic book, but rather the picture that mayoral candidate Susan Hall painted of the capital in an article for the Express on Saturday. All right, blah, 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 blah. Let me see. In the capital, 14.9. Let me see if it's going to give me any particular. Okay, so on antisocial behavior, it says in the year September 2023, 26.4% said they witnessed antisocial behavior compared to 34.2% across England. Only 3 police forces scored lower. And that figure is also compared with September 2019, and 44% of people had witnessed antisocial blah, 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 blah. Let me see if I can find just some quick stats. Okay. So here we go. So here's for example, murders, right? Here's the chart for murders. Okay, so apparently murders was going down with Ken Livingstone. It kept going down and then kind of leveled and starts to go up with Boris Johnson. It continued to go up with Sadiq Khan, and then in recent years it's going back down, right? So you can see crime was at an all-time high either at the beginning of Ken Livingstone or whatever, or you know, or the mayors prior to him, right? Which I'm, you know, not, which do I even need to look up whether that's a white man? It's a white man. So right, so crime was at an all-time high when a white man was mayor, right? Then Boris Johnson comes in, seems to slow. It seems to have been, you know, on a decent trend going down. Boris Johnson comes in and slows it. So you can see obviously at the beginning of someone's candidacy is gonna have the impact of what the previous mayor was doing, right? So Boris Johnson seems to slow that trajectory, and then it gets handed over to Sadiq. It was on the rise from Boris Johnson, so it continues on the rise and then goes back down. So from the stats I'm seeing here, Sadiq Khan, I wouldn't say he's doing a terrible job. Like not as if anybody before him was doing far better. So my curiosity is, what is the main real issue that Donald Trump has with Sadiq Khan? And then why is he also lumping in the mayor of Chicago, a brother, in with being the worst mayors of all time? Because it seems to me it's not really to do with stats and crime. It seems to me it's far more to do with exactly what's going on in the UK and the US right now. White supremacy. It's always been going on, but especially in recent years, the white supremacists are in a you know, in a bit of an uproar, right? A bit of an uproar, and basically blaming everything that goes bad in the UK is just the fault of non-white people, and white people are perfect and there's no crime ever. You know, white people don't ever do any crimes, never. According to the white supremacists. All right, but yeah, so he has this, Donald Trump has a certain pride in London and the UK, and I'll tell you what that pride is that Donald Trump has, right? Let me play it again, right? And I didn't even prepare this topic. Like I didn't look up the stats before, and I'm just doing this on the fly now, because I can guarantee it's not really to do with knife crime or how Sadiq Khan is really doing as a mayor. That's not really the issue. Crime in general has increased recently, and it's not just in London. It's all over the UK. But he specifically talks about Sadiq Khan. While Sadiq Khan's figures show a trend of crime going down, or murders at least going down. So it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating to me. But I'll show you again. So he has a certain pride, right? So he mentions anti-immigration. Hold on, I'm gonna unmute this shit again.
He's done a terrible job. And on immigration, he's a disaster. No, I asked that he not be there. He wanted to be there, as I understand. I didn't want him. I've not liked him for long. I just think, you know, I have a certain pride in London and UK. My mother was born in Scotland, as you know.
Right.
And when I see Mayor Khan do a bad job, the stabbings and the dirt and the film, it's not the same. No, I didn't want him there. I didn't want him there. I asked that he not.
I'll tell you what that certain pride that Donald Trump has in London and the UK, that pride is white pride. Donald Trump has white pride, and when he sees a non-white person doing a bad job, when generally all the mayors across the UK, crime has gone up. So you could say all the mayors in the UK are doing a bad job. But as he says at the end, you know, when he sees, let me play the last bit right here, right? When he sees the stabbings and the dirt and the filth, it's not the same. When he sees the dirt and the filth, I wonder what he means by that. When he sees the stabbings and the dirt and the filth, it's not the same. Like it's not the same when Sadiq Khan has, so say, bad results and, you know, crime has gone up. It's not the same as when it's Sadiq Khan, as when it's, you know, any other white politician or white mayor. It's not the same as when it's, what was the brother's name? Brandon Johnson or something like that? Or Brandon Jackson? The mayor of Chicago. Let me get that up again. Let me get the name right. Mayor of Chicago. Brandon Johnson, right? It's not the same when it's you know, Brandon Johnson as when it's any other white mayor where crime is going up or crime is getting worse. It's just not the same, right? Now let's play on. I have another video where Donald Trump continues in his tirade against Sadiq Khan, and again, I could care less. It's just fascinating to me that, especially in the time of the white supremacist uprising, the things that he's saying, the words he's using, you know what I'm saying? It's just fascinating to me. So we have another video which he got when he was, I assume, you know, he's speaking with Keir Starmer. So I assume this is somewhere a bit closer to the time of the state dinner. All right, so let me get this video. I'm gonna have to flip the camera again so y'all can see. Bada bing, bada boom, done. Okay. So this video, let me flip this port landscape. Okay. So they, oh, I had to connect my, give me 1 second. All right, let me just turn this up. So they asked Trump if he's gonna visit London. All right.
I will. I'm not a fan of your mayor. I think he's done a terrible job, the mayor of London. But a nasty person. I think he's done. I think he's a friend of mine.
So again, you know, he thinks he's not a fan of the mayor. He thinks he's done a terrible job, a nasty person, I guess. I mean, you know, I know. I've seen the videos of India too. I've seen them videos. I understand, right? But it's just interesting to me. All right, let's play on. Is it muted again? No, I need to play it.
I'm not a fan of your mayor. I think he's done a terrible job as the mayor of London. But a nasty person. I think he's a friend of mine. No, I think he's done a terrible job. But I would certainly visit London.
And then Keir Starmer comes in trying to, you know, clean it up or whatever, say, well, you know, he's actually a friend of mine. Like, I think it's just funny. It's a little bit funny when like British racism comes into contact with like American racism. Like it's such a fascinating thing because they both the same people, but one is just so much more covert. Like they ain't gonna spit in your face, but they'll spit in your food. You feel what I'm saying? Like America will just spit in your face straight up and down and spit in your food. Britain will just, you know, they'll just spit in your food, you know what I'm saying, do all types of just, you know, low down but undercover to make it seem as if, you know, they're not what they are. You know what I'm saying? All them videos and people, politicians getting exposed for saying all types of racist things, but somehow they clean it up and try and maintain the image that Britain is not racist. Meanwhile, it's very clear, you know what I'm saying? It's very clear that Britain is, you know, I don't know if I can say the R word on TikTok, is, you know, pro-white, you know, pro-white. I'll use that. Is white supremacist, right? So that's it on that, you know. I just thought that was funny, you know, just the difference or the clash, I guess, in British racism and American racism. I just thought that was funny. All right, my next video, let me see. Right, so of course, you know what I'm saying, even the whole recent Tommy Robinson rally, and then, you know, Trump coming over here talking about, I guess, Sadiq Khan. There's clearly, you know what I'm saying, contention with the British people, aka white people, because, you know, Trump is American, but he also has the same mindset, and the same thing is really happening in America also, right? So there's contention between white people and the foreigners, right? The refugees or the immigrants, right? People who are non-white. Now, for most, black people or Caribbean people, we migrated a lot earlier. So really this whole, and black people of kind of more, so when we integrated, of course, there was the racism, there was the attacks, there was all those things that we suffered because the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? But after all that, calmed down over the years and we took the brunt of everything, and now all these nations can come over here and enjoy, a Britain that is able to stomach the sight of other races, even if it's just, covert and undercover, right? They won't spit in your face, but they'll spit in your food, but they won't burn down your house like they burn down our houses. They won't throw, Molotov or fireworks in your letterbox like they did that to us. Right? So while we took the brunt of that, now you have in this modern day all these, refugees and immigrants, really the refugees that Britain is allowing over here, right? And then white people just take that as immigrants also, even the ones who've paid their way, done it all legally, differentiating between those for oppressors is no, it's a bit above their pay grade, right? So, while there's all that going on, what I would encourage my people, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, now, this is not our fight. You shouldn't be fighting for Britain. You shouldn't be fighting for the refugees or whatever. What black people should do is stay out of that. Let them fight each other, and we gather together. We gather together because there is a time where that fight, whatever that fight is over, forget even that fight being over. When Christ cracks the sky and those angels come down to declare war on this earth, all those nations are going to stop fighting. That's in the Bible. They're going to stop fighting each other, and they're all going to turn and try and fight us. All right? Try and fight God's chosen people. Try and fight against Christ and the angels. You're not going to win. But what is important for black people to do is separate. Separate from your oppressor. Separate from loving these other nations and love ourselves. Because not so long ago, that same energy, that same vitriol that British people have for the refugees and immigrants, they had for us. I'm about to show y'all a little comedy sketch. I believe this comes from it's a show that was ran and written by like black comedians, and there was a few like Asians sprinkled in there too. So predominantly black and Asian comedians, right? And they they do comedy about how things were at that time and making fun of things, kind of like your Saturday Night Live now, right? This was run by black people, and this show ran from, I believe, from like the 1990s, from the early to late 1990s, right, or early to late 90s, right? And this is one of the a sketch that I stumbled upon, which just showed again how not so long ago this is how they felt about black people. This is how they felt about the Caribbean migrants that were coming over here. After we came over and fought in their wars, this is how they felt toward us. All right, let me play this video for you. The Caribbean or Jamaican migrant, I'll say Caribbean, the Caribbean migrant walks into a hotel, and immediately it's assumed that he's a cleaner. So he's saying, thank you for coming in. It's about time. This, that, and the third. Here's all the cleaning products. This, that, and the third. You're the cleaner. You're the low class. You're the, you're the cleaner. Or the next thing is, oh, you're not the cleaner. Oh, so you must be the chef. Okay, well, the kitchen downstairs. This, that, and the third. Well, no, I'm not a chef. Oh, well, you must be the bus boy. You must be the, the brother. The white guy ain't gonna say brother. He's gonna say an N-word, right? He must be the jigger that's coming here to pick everyone's bags up to their rooms. He must be the bus boy, or what do they call him, the bell boy, right? And he says, no, I'm not the bell boy either. And then look what he says. Don't work here. I'm just trying to immediately thief, ringing the bell, this, that, and the third, call the police. You know what I'm saying? It's a N-word in our establishment, and he's not a slave. Well, he must be a thief. He must be a criminal. Again, that's all they see black people as when it comes down to it. Now, all that hate and vitriol is now primarily focused at the refugees and the immigrants. But once that's all over, they turn their eyes and don't ever forget, don't ever think for a second that they never stop seeing you as the thief and the criminal and the rapist and the just everything wrong with Britain. It's just that I guess the refugees are a more pressing matter because they're getting stuff for free. You could never say that the people from the Caribbean got any handouts, got anything handed to us. We didn't get no hotel with no Wi-Fi. You could never say that about us. So I guess while you still see us as the criminals and thieves and everything that's wrong with, Britain as a whole, you're more concerned with your tax money going to the refugees, which you see is the same thing, criminals and this, that, and the third. Right, criminals and rapists and your children are in danger because all these people coming over, as if your children weren't in danger before, as if prior to anybody coming to the UK, your children could just walk and prance the street and there were just no predators and nothing. There was just no criminals, no unalivers, no rapists, nothing. Britain was just a utopia and there was no crime. Right, but again, once they done, I guess with their crusade against the refugees, they're gonna turn their eye towards you. Shift their focus back on I guess the original problem, because black people were always the original problem for them. It's not that long ago. Again, this show was in the 90s. That's what, 30 years ago? It's not that long ago. This is exactly how they were looking at you. This is exactly how they were looking at black people. Brothers and sisters, gather together in the I.S.U.P.K. The Bible says to gather together, O nation not desired. We are not desired by these other people. Don't think because right now you're not the primary target that you should be gathering with these people. Don't think that because right now you're not enemy number one that you're a friend. You're just enemy number 5. Again, it's almost like with anything, black people are just seen as the bottom of society. You're not seen as a threat. So we'll deal with your N-words after. But let's deal with these people. These people are a threat. Like, black people have just never been a threat to oppressors. Just never. We've only been their servants, their slaves, and there's people they have a problem with seeing because they're jealous, because apparently we take all their women, we take all their jobs, the noise pollution, whatever. We play loud music, and what's the other thing he said? Yeah, I think we're scaring the fish. We're scaring the effing fish. I mean, good night. Yeah, this is how oppressors see us. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget it wasn't that long ago that this same energy they had towards these refugees, they have towards us. Don't join with them as if because, you're not their current target, you're their friend. You're absolutely not their friend. But they will use you. They will use you, in their protests and even put you on camera and saying, look, we're not racist. We have a jigger holding up the flag and he's part of us. You're not part of them. They will use you though. They will absolutely use you. Don't think them refugees, when they want you up in their protest to help them and support them because, you need to have compassion on them and this, that, and the third, when they never had compassion to us. But don't think that once if they were to get whatever they wanted, that you're now their friend. They're still telling their children not to hang around you, not to be like you. Don't get with one of them. You know how those people are. You know those people. Don't be like those people. You know that. That's not even a few years ago. That's right now. Right now, they tell their children not to be like you. Yeah, you can have a phase where you hang around them and you think it's cool or whatever. But when you grow up, you're not going to be on these streets like those people. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a this or that. You're not like those people. You're better than those people. That's what they tell their children. Play my last video. My last video, which is the topic of tonight's class. I couldn't fit it in the TikTok title, but I put it on the Facebook when I shared it. Apparently, this pastor says that white people, white parents, need to give their children the talk. The talk is what he said, right? White parents need to give their children the talk. And that's fascinating because, you know, black people, we all know about the talk. The talk for us is that, listen, because of the color of your skin and the texture of your hair, people hate you for no reason. You've done them no wrong, but they hate you and they will discriminate you against you because of how you look, because of who you are, because you're a black man or you're a black woman, you're a young black boy or young black girl. That's the talk that we have with our children. But apparently there's a talk that this white pastor says that white people need to have with their children. Interesting.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children,
if you're he just started off, he just started off all good and proper. If you're a good white Christian who loves the Lord and loves your children, let's play. Let y'all see it, right?
You're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says, there are certain parts of town that you cannot go. And there are certain people that you cannot be around. Yep. Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, but we're talking about when you go into a crowd of...
Hold on. Oh, somebody said to let me see something. Oh, guest requested. Hold on, let me 1 second. All right, let me accept you onto the live. All right, hold on. Let me let it load in.
Shalom, Shalom,
Hey,
Israel.
Shalom, Lord of Christ. We're telling you what, so I can
Shalom,
hear you.
Most High Christ,
You on the live? You had a comment on what was being played? You know what I'm saying? You want to say something?
Yeah. No, I was saying, the black people need to start loving white people, these other nations, because these other nations don't love us. We got to come together and start loving these other nations, and they don't understand the Bible, A lot of people ain't going to make it, because they don't understand the Bible like y'all do, Y'all the only one who understand the Bible, These other nations, they don't understand the Bible like y'all do. Because, Camilo Johanna, I know everything from Camilo Johanna. I look up to him, I look up to y'all too, because y'all the righteous. Y'all the one who gonna make it in these last days. Because we live in the last days, and y'all under the Most High. Y'all under the Most High and His Son, the Hasha, So the Most High got y'all, Y'all gonna be the one who make it. Y'all gonna put all these other nations in charge, Y'all above all these other nations. So, y'all gonna make it. Y'all gonna make it on no cherish, With Most High send His Son, the Hasha, y'all gonna make it on no cherish, in back of the chamber, you know. All these other nations, they gonna get destroyed,
Right.
I
So
know the truth. I know the truth. Cause I look up to y'all, I look up to Camilo Johanna. I look up to all y'all. I got y'all back. And I always push y'all up out there, I let people know the truth in the school,
Oh, you just
all that, But you can't change everybody. You gotta change yourself,
most
So
fire
that's
crowd.
what
Was
I
there anything
do.
else you wanted to say on that?
Huh?
Was there anything else you wanted to, say or anything on topic you had?
No, I was just listening to you what you were saying, huh? That's all. I just came up here and listen. You know, I know the Bible. You know, I keep my soul. You know, I know the truth. I'm finna join your school too. I'm going to be going to the one in Hollywood. So you know, that's all I'm doing is building up my nation, bring them to your school. You know,
No sweat, brother. No sweat. Go ahead and get in class. You know what I'm saying? Get with those brothers up in Hollywood, Hollywood Israelites. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Do you know? Become a soldier up in these ranks, man. Become
that's
a
right.
soldier. We need, you know what I'm saying? We need you brothers and sisters. All right? No sweat.
I
I
got you.
appreciate I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with the topic, all right?
Yeah, go ahead. Huh? I'm just right here listening.
I'm sorry, Christ. All right, sure. All right. I'm sorry, Christ. All right, so let me go ahead and carry on with playing this video. So, again, this is the the talk that white Christian parents that love the Lord and love their children need to have with their children. All right, let's run this back a little bit.
At the proper time, the appropriate time, and says, there are certain parts of town that you cannot go. And there are certain people that you cannot be around. Yep. Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've
So
been
again,
in our
so
church, and
so he says there's certain parts of town where you just can't go, and there's certain people that you just can't be around. And you think, well, okay, there's just certain people or whatever. And what people is he talking about? Well, then he says, well, if there's someone black and he's in our church, so that the people he's saying that you can't be around as a white person, apparently you can't be around black people, right? But if there's a black person and he's in our church, let him carry on.
and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ. Great. We're not talking about that person, but we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people.
In other words, if it's a good docile, N-word, if it's a good docile black person, then that's fine. You know what I'm saying? They're cool. We've vetted. They you know what I'm saying? They they ain't gonna cause no problems. They know who the boss is. They serve white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? That they're inferior, right? But those other black people, those other black folks. Let's play on. Run this back a little bit.
But we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers, and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger.
Good night.
Them's the
Oh, good night. Before he goes on to that, right? Let me let him get it out. Let me let him land his plane. Right? As all these like conservatives love to say, right? Let me let them land their plane.
And they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. Them's the facts.
Them's the facts. Them's the facts, yo. I don't have nothing to say because yo, them's the facts. If you're in a crowd, if you're a white person and you're in a crowd of white people, there's some element of danger. But if you're around black people, it's just 30. You're 30 times more likely for something to happen to you. Them's the facts, man. I can't argue with that. Them's the facts. I'm sure Charlie Kirk thought the same thing. But who unalive Charlie Kirk? A white man. A white man unalive Charlie Kirk. I think y'all need to start profiling these white people. Because y'all love to purport figures about, arrests and this, that, and the third, and black people get arrested for this many crimes. Yeah, black people get arrested for crime because y'all are targeting black people. But that white man who's a criminal, just slips by or slips under your radar. You don't arrest him, you arrest us. And crime is in every single community. Crime is in every single community, every single nation. It's only that black people, we are a lot of times where we're in poverty. We're in poverty, there's lack of opportunity, and what does everybody knows that poverty breeds crime. It's not that these people are just criminals because they're black. That's what they love to have you believe. These people are just criminals because they're black, because of the race they are. They're just prone to being violent, prone to be criminals. Donald Trump called our Latino brothers super predators. They're just prone to be, you know what I'm saying, criminals and predatory. That's not the case. Matter of fact, most of the time, that's the case for y'all, for white people. It be white people that are rich and have opportunity that still turn out to be violent criminals. It be oppressors that have all types of wealth and opportunity and you know good I don't know if I could call them good parents, but have both parents in the household. You know what I'm saying, came from whatever that be doing some heinous crimes. Black people, we commit crimes because we're poor. We lack opportunity. And we lack the education that our own brother who's across the road that's wearing a different color is not my enemy. That's why we commit crimes. But to say a white person is 30 times more likely to have some crime committed on them if they're in a crowd of black people and them's the facts is just absolutely untrue. He's talking out of his backside. Matter of fact, as a you safer as a white person in a black neighborhood than a black person in a black neighborhood. Like we don't really go out and commit crimes and attack white people or steal from white people. Why? Because if we know that if something happens to an oppressor, I mean, good night, you're going to get caught. It's not just a brother that you can just unalive or steal from, and nobody gives a damn because the police don't give a crap about you. If you attack one of theirs, oh no, no, you're getting the book thrown at you. You're going under the jail. So we know not to attack y'all. What he's saying is just an absolute lie, and the fact that he's saying as if is just black people that are just violent. Black people are just apparently 30 times more violent than an oppressor. Well, tell that to Charlie Kirk, man. I mean, he believed it right up until the day that he was unalived from loss of blood. That's what he believed. I mean, good night. Them's the facts. Them's is the facts. Matter of fact, he probably thought it right up until the point where that last bit of blood that was crucial to his life left his body. Because he probably assumed even right before he got unalived, he was asked a question about crime, and he says, "Well, does that include gang violence?" And then mysteriously was unalived from lack of blood. And the person responsible for that lack of blood was not a black man. White people, y'all are not in as much danger as y'all think you are. Let me play the last part of this video. Right, them's the facts, and I love how he uses that phrase. Like he gonna use like a black phrase or talk like us. Like you don't talk like that. You don't say them's the facts. He was speaking all proper right in the earlier thing, but as if just to accentuate what he's saying about black people, he's gonna turn around and say, "Them's the facts." I mean, good night. Even when they hate us, they can't help but imitate us.
Them's the facts. And it is actually a failure of your parental duty, white parents. Please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lie to them and say all people and all races of people in our country are the same.
Good night. Hold on. Just click this button right here. Let me get the audio back up. Select you. So if you was a white parent teach your children that all people are the same and all races are the same, if you teach that black people are no different than white people, if you teach that black people aren't 30 times more violent. If you were so silly to believe that black people aren't 30 times more violent than white people, then you're doing your children a disservice. You have to give them the talk. You absolutely have to give them the talk. All right.
Lie to them and say all people and all races of people in our country are the same.
In other words,
They are not.
if you're a white man and you lie to your children and tell them that blacks and Hispanics are not just crazy violent criminals, if you lie to your children and tell them that inherently black people aren't criminals inherently, it's due to their condition. If you lie to them and tell them things like that, then what?
You are actually depriving your child of factual, truthful information that could save their life. If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your...
I mean, good night. Maybe if y'all knew how violent white people are, and they got, stopped and searched and racially profiled, maybe there wouldn't be so many schools that get shut up. Maybe. It seems y'all are depriving your children of that information that could save their lives. Maybe if Charlie Kirk's security team understood that white people are also a threat, maybe Charlie Kirk wouldn't be unalive from loss of blood. Maybe that information could save your lives. Maybe, just maybe. I don't know. But them's the facts. Them's the facts. All right, with that, it's 3:06. I told y'all I was gonna finish a little early. You know what I'm saying? It's Salakia. I'm gonna get ready for the feast day. All right, again, 394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW. Be there from 7 p.m. till late. You know how we get down. You know what I'm saying? None of us is going home. Just get that in your head from now. You ain't going home. I'm playing with y'all. All right, with that, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam to all the brothers, and Yahweh Shema Allah Tam Hashem Yahushua to all the sisters. All right, Shalom, Lord in Christ.